Hello, you lovely lot, and welcome to Hammers Chat's Premier League preview show in conjunction with Football Index, the real-time football betting app that allows you to trade your own money in real live football players. There you go. The link's in the description below. Sign up via that if you dare. Geo's been doing it for quite a while. Look at him. Look at his lovely top. He's rich now. That's a lovely top. How are you, Geo?
I'm not too bad, thank you. If you watched last week's show, I also told you I invested in Quina and who scored on the Saturday. Quina, and whose price is now up 25% since I invested in him. Quina. I'm doing all right, thanks to Quina.
There you go. He's doing all right, as you can see from his top there. Well, listen, hopefully most of you lot were just with us on our preview, which was obviously Watford West Ham. And so you all know what we think about that. So you join us to see what we're going to think about this week's. It's game week 18 in the Premier League. And there's an action-packed fixture list. It's starting, actually. We've got Friday night kickoff, haven't we, Joe? We've got Wolves against Liverpool, which we're going to go through in a second. Arsenal against Burnley. Bournemouth versus Brighton Hove Albion. Chelsea Leicester. Huddersfield Southampton. Man City against Crystal Palace. Newcastle Fulham. West Ham, Watford, we've just discussed. Please do click up. If you look in the description below, you will see our preview for that game if you haven't already over on the main channel. We've got Cardiff Man United. I want to talk about that, Gio. I definitely want to talk about that one. And we've got Everton against Tottenham Hotspur, which is the Super Sunday game. Right then, kicking off, Wolves against Liverpool. Now, Liverpool, obviously, Gio had that wonderful win as far as they're concerned, the one that sealed the fate of the man that we will talk about later. Wolves have been doing very, very well. What are your thoughts on this game, mate?
I think it's more difficult than it looks at first glance. I mean, you sort of see Liverpool and go, Liverpool win, don't you? But Wolves have won the last three. I said to you last week, I'm finding them difficult to call, and they've done it to me again because I didn't really want to touch last week's game of the barge pole when they took on Bournemouth, but they beat them. Another win for Wolves, and they just keep doing what everybody expected them to do at the start of the season, actually. So, yeah, fantastic from Wolves. Liverpool were fantastic against Man United, though. Klopp got it bang on, and it was the deserved bullet in the end for the opposition manager.
Absolutely. Now, Wolves, our Jota has been playing very well for Wolves. As you see, he's out. He's got a hamstring injury. And Nathaniel Klein, who played 4 days, I don't think he's featured very much at all, but he played in the last game. That's because Trent Alexander-Arnold's got a foot injury. I mean, it's nonetheless, they're not going to have a big impact on the game. Certainly, Trent Alexander-Arnold, you would think. The big players for Liverpool are going to be playing, Gio, and it's got to be a win for them, right?
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if Klopp does something silly. I say silly. I wouldn't be surprised if Klopp rotates it slightly. He did it at Turf Moor where he annoyed all the fantasy league managers, didn't he? He left out this, like Salah and Firmino on the bench, and he started Sturridge and Origi. I do wonder if he's going to rotate at least one of his front three attackers for this one. I hope it's not Mane, actually, because from my betting perspective, I'm intending on betting on him. I watched him in the Champions League when they played Napoli. He wasted a lot of chances, Mane. Now, a lot of people see him missing chances. I see a striker getting in the goal-scoring positions, just not taking them. So against Man United, I had him to score. So when he did, brilliant. And he kept getting in goal-scoring positions even after his goal. So I'm hoping Mane starts. I'm going to go for an away win, but I wouldn't be surprised if Klopp does a little bit of tinkering with his setup.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Liverpool win here as well. I don't think Klopp's going to tinker because the draw's been made, hasn't it, for the Champions League? So I don't think they don't join in and do any more of that nonsense until I think February when it reconvenes, possibly the Champions League. Who have they got again, Gio? Remind me, who have Liverpool got in Europe?
I'm not sure. I can't remember, but it's a tough fixture. I can't remember who it was.
Everyone's screaming at the screen at the moment. They're screaming what it is. But we don't deal with that. We're dealing with Premier League at the moment. Next up, we have Arsenal against Burnley. And Arsenal are looking to bounce back from defeat against Southampton. Burnley are looking for their first win against Arsenal in 11 attempts. Are they going to bounce back, Gio?
They've also got the Spurs defeat midweek as well, haven't they? So Arsenal have got two incentives to come back with a victory here. I thought they were a bit shell-shocked against Southampton. I thought they deserved to get beat. Their defence is not good enough. Their defence is one of the, I would say, I don't want to say a bottom side table in the Premier League defence, but it is at the minute. They're playing a Xhaka centre-back because they have no defenders. Their only fit centre-back's Koscielny. He's crap now. He's just not good enough anymore for Arsenal. This is going to be difficult, but luckily for them, they're coming up against a very poor side.
Yeah, I mean, Koscielny looked completely out of his depth, didn't he? Southampton, we'll discuss in a minute, just cross after cross after cross. Your man there, your favourite little fella there, Danny Ings, of course, did very well. And then And then the front man for Blur came on and scored a goal at the last. But obviously they've got, I think he might be the joint top scorer in the league, possibly Aubameyang, and him and Lacazette do dovetail well. I've got to go for an Arsenal win on this one myself. Sorry, what was yours again? What was your prediction?
I'm going for home win as well.
You're going for the home win here. Okay, right, next up, of course, now we're on to the 3 o'clock fixtures. We have got Bournemouth playing Brighton Hove Albion. It's not really a derby. They're both on the south coast. Not really a derby. Bournemouth looking to end a 2-match losing streak, while Brighton are plotting a first Premier League victory over Eddie Howe's Bournemouth side. They started really well, Bournemouth. Geo, we discussed it last week. A bit of a dip, mate.
Yeah, they've won 1 and lost 7 in their last 8. I know you're reading and it says they've lost the last 2, but they've lost 7 of the last 8. It's not good enough at Bournemouth. I didn't really want to oppose them last week, but I probably should have. And I don't want to oppose them again because there is talent in that team. They've got goal scorers. That's the important thing. Well, they've got a goal scorer, and that's key in the Premier League. If you've got one of them, you'll be all right. And they've got one. He's back. He's fit now. The funny stat with Brighton is they've had 4 red cards in the last 6 games. Not necessarily Brighton, but in 4 of Brighton's last 6 fixtures. And the referee on Saturday is Mike Dean, who loves the red cards. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a red card in this fixture, and that could swing it either way. But I'm going to play it safe on this one. I say safe. I'm going to sit on the fence for this one, Gonzo. I'm going to go for a draw.
Okay, I'm going to go with Bournemouth. I think. I don't know why. I just think they're better than the stat that I read out and the stat that you just read out. I just think they're better than that, and I think they will bounce back, particularly if Callum Wilson is back as well. Next up, another 3 o'clock kickoff. We've got Chelsea against Leicester. Chelsea looking to win their 3rd consecutive match against Leicester, and I think the Foxes looking to bounce back from defeat against Crystal Palace, a surprise defeat against a Zaha-less Crystal Palace. This is surely just a clear-cut one. Eden Hazard in fantastic form at the moment, Gio.
Yeah, he is. He's on 99 goals as well for Chelsea, so it's sort of going to be party time at the bridge if he gets his 100. It's taken him a long time to get to 100, actually. He should be there by now, I think, but it's taken him a while. He's got an assist in his last 4 penalties. He scored midweek in the cup game against Bournemouth. Leicester obviously lost on pens to Man City. I think this is the next manager to go, by the way. I think Pugh, I don't know how he's still there, in all honesty. I thought he was going to be gone in the summer, but they kept him for some reason. This is going to sound edgy. I think he, because of the helicopter incident, I think he's kept his job for a little longer than he might have done. So I think he's going to be gone. I wouldn't be surprised if a defeat at Stamford Bridge is what pushes him out the door. Just 2 wins in 11 games for Leicester now. It's not good enough with the talent they have. They've got one of the best teams outside the top 6, and they're playing like one of the teams in the bottom 6, and it's not good enough.
No, absolutely. So obviously, but a Leicester win for both of us. I do believe Jamie Vardy may well be out from that as well. Next up, we got Huddersfield against the Resurgent. I say Resurgent. They've won a game anyway. Second, they're away to second from bottom Huddersfield Town. 4-match losing streak for Huddersfield. I do believe Moy is out as well, as obviously a big player for them. But anyway, whatever his name is, David Hasselhoff, it's easy for me to say, has come in, and we already discussed it. He's just chucking in crosses, Gio.
They looked very good. They had a game plan, something Southampton's been lacking for a long time now. They turned up their plan against Arsenal and they executed it perfectly. The win was very much deserved. It wasn't a fluke. It was a late winner, but they deserved that. Huddersfield, I know you said they've lost the last 4, but 2 of those defeats were at home to Brighton and Newcastle. When you're at the bottom of the league, those games, you have to be getting 4 points at least. Otherwise, you're going to be looking at championship football next season. I think Huddersfield are halfway there, in all honesty. Every week in the Premier League, when we do these shows every week now, Gonzo, I'm going to struggle to not predict Huddersfield to get beat from now on. And I'm not going to start tonight. I'm going to go for a Saints win with, your strike. Ings and Austin got 3 between them.
I've got to go. I mean, and I don't want to, because actually I think we're playing them on 27th. Southampton. The last thing I want is Southampton getting a new manager and starting to get a style of play and chucking a load of crosses over, which ironically we discussed in the preview, which we just recorded just before, maybe an area of weakness for us. So the last thing we want is a resurgent Southampton. But I've got to say, I've got to agree with you and predict that Southampton are going to win this one against Huddersfield. Pretty much nailed on as far as I'm concerned. And what I do like about this, we've discussed it as well. is that they didn't go for the Moyes or the Allardyce or the Pardew. Where's he gone, by the way? The traditional English manager who seemed to be guaranteed a job when another one of them got sacked. I'm quite pleased that they went with the I was going to say German. He's Austrian, isn't he? And gone for something different. So apart from when they play us, good luck to them after that. Hopefully we thrash them. But yes, certainly Southampton to beat Huddersfield. Next up, another 3:00 kickoff. Manchester City, who are in second place. I mean, they've been brilliant, haven't they? It just shows how well Liverpool have done, really. Are playing Crystal Palace, who got that win, as I say, without Zaha, who I do believe will be back for this one. All the good it will do him, though, Gio.
It doesn't make a difference to me. They could probably go get, I don't know, a couple of another half-decent players if the transfer window was already open. I still wouldn't change my mind for this one. Liverpool, at the end of the day, if Liverpool don't beat Wolves, we're predicting they will, but say they don't, Man City have just got the world's biggest motivation handed them on the plate. Christmas Day, you don't want to, for your fans, you don't want to wake up on Christmas Day not top when you're Man City, and it might be out of their hands, but if Liverpool fail to win at the Molineux and City do win, they go back top for Christmas, where I think they will be come May. This is this is a kiss of death, because last week I called it banker and it took a 93rd minute goal to make the banker win. This is my banker of the weekend. Easy easy Man City win, Gonzo.
Well, absolutely. I think you'd be surprised if when we walked out of the match at the weekend, I think you'd be surprised when they read over that tannoy that Crystal Palace have beaten Man City, it'd be a shock. I think on the Friday night game, I think if you found out it was Wolves 2, Liverpool 2, nobody's going to be hugely shocked by that, because Wolves are a good team. Crystal Palace just aren't. They desperately lack a striker. I watched a bit of the game. Jordan Ayew didn't really have a clue. He was playing up front. Benteke still no closer to being fit. And as people know, I've got friends that are Crystal Palace fans. As I saw one of them this week, and he said, "Oh well, fortunately, Connor Wickham was on the bench for the last games. Hopefully, he'll be coming back." And such is the hope that they're clinging to, that they're hoping that Connor Wickham can come back and score them some goals. In desperate need of a striker there. Next up, we got Newcastle. Won their last 3 home fixtures against Fulham in the Premier League. Claudio Ranieri's side are seeking their first victory in 5 matches to lift them off the bottom of the table. We know about Fulham, Geo. We saw them. A bit of energy, a bit of endeavour, but a bit toothless, mate.
Yeah, they were just lacking the final touch. You spoke about how Crystal Palace are lacking a striker. Well, there's one striker that's going to be on the pitch on Saturday at St James's Park, banging for him. That's Rondon. He scored in his last 3 games there. And the others, to be fair, the other side and the other team in the pool, I'm sure they've got Mitrovic returning to St James's Park. So it could be the story of the 2 strikers. If they both get 2.5 chances each, which one's going to take one? Because they're obviously the biggest, their side's biggest opportunity to get something from the game. I wouldn't want to be backing against Rafa Benitez's Newcastle at the moment, though. They do seem to, you sort of said Southampton were resurgent. Actually, Newcastle are a resurgent team. They are looking decent, and they're grinding out wins. They're doing something like Benitez has almost got the British way about him that we just alluded to with the likes of Moyes and stuff. He knows how to grind out a 1-0. It's not the best thing to watch, but it gets the job done. And I think he's going to do something similar on Saturday, Gonzo. I think it's going to be a very narrow, boring home victory.
Yeah, I think so. I'm going for a Newcastle win. Sessegnon back for Fulham, just in case you were doing anything with your fantasy league teams or anything like that. I mean, maybe Sessegnon might have given them a bit of a cutting edge, but certainly they. It's funny. Mitrovic was largely marshalled very well by our own Balbuena, and I do think Mitrovic will score goals this season, and that's the other sort of story in this. Mitrovic is going to want to go back there and prove his old boss wrong for selling him. Now, this is the one. On any other day, on any other Premier League preview show, Cardiff against Manchester United this would not be getting any special mention, but. And Cardiff are in good form at home. Let's be absolutely fair about this. The big story here is about Jose Mourinho. Now, Jose Mourinho has been unceremoniously booted out. They announced Michael Carrick they made a funny statement, intermediate temporary manager, of which he seemed to hold for 20 hours. Then Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came in. Now, the really interesting thing about this is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer not only got Cardiff relegated to the Championship, he almost took them down to League One as well. Gone back to Mulder, where he's somehow started to rebuild it, but despite that, so you've got a case of him going back to his old club, Cardiff. Somehow he's managed to get the Manchester United manager's job on a sort of audition to see how he goes until the end of the season, Gio.
Yeah, it's a strange one. I don't think he'll get it at the end of the season. He's going to have to do something extraordinary in the next few months at Old Trafford to clinch that, when you've got Pochettino in the crosshairs, if you like, and Zidane. Obviously, I still want to see Zidane in Premier. I would like to see Zidane at Man United, actually. He's a free agent, obviously. I'm surprised they didn't go for him, actually, just to get him in and just say, for the next few months, do what you want. You finish eighth. Just evaluate the squad, have a clear out in the summer and build what you want to build. This whole temporary thing doesn't really do anyone any good, does it? What are you meant to do? You can't build the squad. January transfer window, what are you going to do now? Who's in charge of it? Does Solskjaer bring in his own players? Well, what if he's not here in the summer? You just wasted however million. But I'll tell you what, I think we're going to see a rejuvenated Pogba this weekend. He's the one player I wouldn't want to be facing this weekend now that Mourinho is gone. He's the one that was sort of, I don't want to say the victim of Mourinho's bullying. I think they both gave as much as they got. It was two big egos clashing, etc. Pogba is not a victim in this. He's not innocent, but he suffered from Mourinho's I must have control tactics, if you like. And I think the manager should have control. But unfortunately, in 2018 in football, that's not the way it is anymore. If there are big players unhappy, the manager is the one that has to go. For some strange reason, that's the way it is. We're now going to see this dancer boy back in the team, and he's got a massive point to prove. And I think Cardiff will be wishing Mourinho was still in charge, because Mourinho was still in charge. I wouldn't be predicting a Man United win, but given the changes, it makes me double think it at least.
Yeah, well, you say double think it, so you still think Man United win?
I'm gonna say Man United win. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it's this is a tough one, but it's just more of this player power. Yeah, you're right. He'll have his tail up, won't he? Now Pogba, he'll be arriving with with a new haircut probably, and prancing around like he owns the place. But it's not just there either. We've seen this a few times over the years. I even thought, looking at Southampton after they won, they were very cocky. Austin was very, very cocky, very much alluded to the fact that that it was, saying some quite horrible things about Mark Hughes, really, or certainly hinting at them. Ryan Bertrand as well did a similar thing on his Instagram as well. And I just wonder how much the Southampton players down tools. And when you see an uplift in performance like that, you think, okay, I'm sure the manager's come in, but how much are you trying? And I think Mourinho is, I don't think Mourinho's involved in managerial terms. I think he plays negative football that was never going to work at Manchester United. I don't know why they offered him a new contract, quite frankly. But with that being said, I do think the players there are better than they've displayed. Roy Keane was on the telly going on the other day, these players aren't good enough for Man United. I think largely, I disagree. I think Martial's a fantastic player. Sanchez is one of the best players. Sanchez wouldn't be... He's best. He's one of the top 20 players in the world. They've got some good players there, and it sort of sickens me a little bit with his player power, because I just wonder, as a West Ham fan, we might not be immune to it at some point. So anyway, with that being said, this is a hard one to predict. I'm gonna go with a Man U win here, but I am not confident that Solskjaer. I just don't know how Solskjaer's got the job. If we could,
I'm going to say a Man U win for the players, not because of the manager.
Yeah, it's a strange one. I don't know how he got that. I'll tell you what, he seems to fudge it again. That Ed Woodward up there, he's a strange one. He's a strange one. Anyway, that was our penultimate fixture. The last fixture is Everton are at home, and visiting them are Tottenham Hotspur, hoping to extend their winning run to 4 matches. Tottenham obviously won in the cup, which Gio alluded to when they beat Arsenal. If you saw that, Dele Alli had a bottle thrown at his head. I think this is our one to call for me, Gio. I don't know. I like some of Everton's players, so not as cut and dried as some might think.
I half agree with you here. I think Everton have got a good team. They've got a good home record, 1-4 and drawn 2 of the last 6 at home. But they're not doing good enough for me, Everton. They're better than what they are in the league. I'm adamant they should be 7th. They should have 7th lockdown. I really do think that. But when I watched them against Everton, though, there was just the second half. They were so poor. They were really, really bad. And Spurs are one of the best teams away from home in the Premier League. They probably are the best team away from home in the Premier League, bar City. They won 8 of 10 away games or something like that. Kane's got a phenomenal record against Everton for some reason. Kane really likes scoring against Everton. He didn't start against Arsenal either, so Pochettino did a little rotation midweek. And obviously, it's the attacking midfield that Spurs have got with Lucas, Lamela, Eriksen, Ali, and Son. That 5, the fact that he only plays 3 a game and then he can sort of take 2 out and put another 2 in fresh, etc., is the reason I think they're going to keep picking up Spurs. And Sissoko's decided to turn into Vieira this season for some reason.
Yes, I mean, it's a strange one. I think Eric Dyer is out, and I think Wanyama is out. So obviously he's a big boy, isn't he, Sissoko? Still think that leaves him lacking a little bit of physicality in the middle. I think I'm going to go for the draw here just because I'm unsure. Sorry, what was your prediction, Jim?
I'm going to go for a Spurs win, but I think it'll be close. I think both teams will score in this one.
Yeah, and there you go. And that concludes our Premier League preview, our roundup. Do you agree with us? Put your predictions below. If you're that confident, you might want to have a bet on them. And if you are looking to have a bet, then don't forget to click on the football index at the bottom. And you could be like Geo. How's it gone this week anyway? Have you said
I haven't sold anyone. I haven't cashed in any shares, etc. I'm just sitting pretty on the likes of Quina, Declan Rice. Jovic has gone up again. I've spoken about him before. He's trebled in value since I bought him. Frankfurt had a game midweek. He scored 2. His value's gone up again. I'm enjoying him playing for Frankfurt this season, actually, as long as he keeps scoring.
Good man, good man. I think I'm going to do it. You know, I think I'm going to take the plunge. I think I'm going to. I've got a couple. I've got a couple European ones. I'll keep it to myself. I'll reveal it in the next show if you are kind enough to join us. Right, what we back with? What we got coming up over the next couple of days, Gio?
Well, we've got a Watford preview, which is already up, which is on the channel right now. Then we'll have our Watford review on Saturday night. Gonzo will have his Watford vlog Sunday, maybe even Christmas Eve. We might even have a Christmas Day video going up on the other channel as well. We're going to try and film something on Saturday for you for Christmas Day. Don't know what yet. Then obviously we've got the Saints game, which is on the 27th. So we're going to have to do a preview Christmas Eve night or something. Oh, bloody hell. This is commitment to Hammer's chat. This is. We've got loads of videos, got loads of fixture. I think West Ham have got 5 games in the next 15 days. So West Ham do, everybody else does as well. So there's loads of Premier League football. I love festive period. I love this time of the year, Gonzo.
He is a great lover of Christmas, is our Geo. And never let it be said that he is the Hammers Chat Grinch. Certainly not. Added to all that, I'll be doing my instant reaction. I love doing those as well. From my seat in the stadium, I'll be pointing the camera at myself. Tony, maybe Tom will be with us. Hopefully Mike will be down for that game as well. So you get our instant reaction there. That's here on this channel. The main review where we just dissect everything up with a scalpel. That'll be on the... Sorry, no. That's on the main channel. This on this channel, the forum channel. We like to confuse you. But I'll tell you what, if you're subscribed to the main channel and you're not subscribed to this, then there's something wrong. And I know there's about 5,000 of you missing. So get subscribing. But listen, thank you very much for joining us. Fingers crossed. Don't forget to check out the other preview as well. Well, you'll have to go and have a look to see what I predicted. But myself and Geo both agreed with our predictions. Let us know what you think. And we will look forward to seeing some of you on our boats on Saturday. Fingers crossed, 5 wins in a row.